everybody, and welcome back to the Zero Hour. I am Richard RJ Eskow, and this week, Jeb Bush made it official by announcing for president in Florida. Our next guest was there and has a story to tell about that announcement. Danny Barajas is executive director of the Young American Dreamers, a group which brought some children to that event, and he'll tell us what happened. Mr. Barajas, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Number one, how am I doing on the pronunciation of your name?
Very good. The Barajas is, in Spanish you just pronounce the J like an H.
That's
perfect.
That's my understanding, and as one who has had his last name mispronounced many times, though, I always try to be careful. Now, you're first of all, tell us a little bit about what the Young American Dreamers group does.
Yes, Young American Dreamers was actually founded by my little sister. She officially founded the group in 2010, but she'd been organizing local kids in the community since about 2006. Unfortunately, about 3 years ago, she passed away, and since then I took over the leadership of the group. And we've expanded on the principles that she started, which the three principles is charity, community service, social justice. And within the social justice, that's where immigration kind of falls into the category of helping out your neighbor and protecting families. And the group is primarily Hispanic, but we do have different nationalities within the group, and we're in a I guess you could say we're very country agriculture here. We're right between Tampa and Orlando. So, there's a lot of citrus and a lot of tomatoes, strawberries. So farm worker is a very big part of our livelihoods.
So sounds like a good group. Sounds like a great group. And now you brought a group of children, I guess, age 5 to 15, from my understanding, to hear Jeb Bush make his announcement. And what was your thinking in doing that and bringing the kids to the announcement?
A lot of people have actually been curious in regards to why, immigration activist dreamers would go to a Republican event. It's not that we were endorsing him. We were actually just very, very curious to see what he would say on immigration, because one thing that didn't get spoken on a lot is that his father, George Bush Sr., had actually done some follow-up work on immigration policies after Reagan's amnesty. And then his older brother, George W., actually had worked with the president of Mexico to try to start the steps into immigration reform before the September 11th attacks. And when that happened, immigration fell on the back burner for some, and for others, immigration got thrown into the category of terrorism. So it's we were expecting, I guess you could say, almost in a sense, third time's a charm. And, he does make a strong position of his wife is, from, Hispanic, and his children are, mixed nationalities, and he speaks Spanish, and, he tries to appeal to the Latino community. We're very aware that he has said that if he's elected, he'll remove the executive orders of DACA and DAPA, that are right now the only protections that our families have received in years. And we thought that was like, okay, you're going to take that away from us. However, because you're choosing, referring to Jeb, we're like, because you're choosing, June 15th to make your announcement, and June 15th is the anniversary of the DACA program. We're like, okay, he's probably going to make it a strong immigration case, and so we took some of the kids from the group. We very limited on how many, funding limits us on how many children we can take with us. The children in the group were either dreamers themselves who would benefit from DACA upon reaching the age, or their parents would have benefited from DAPA, which is currently the program that's suspended right now. And the four senior citizens that people talk about that were in our group, one is a Vietnam veteran, and the other three are actually related to me, farm workers their entire lives, However, longtime activist, 45 years worth of activism work. My father and two of my uncles who actually worked hand in hand with Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers here in Florida since the 70s. So it was a strong activist group who went. And
so Danny Barajas,
high hopes.
Yeah. So Danny Barajas, you brought some children, you brought some older folks, you came and you wanted to hear what the new candidate, Jeb Bush, was going to say about immigration. Who knows, maybe he's going to propose an alternative
Right.
and not just say no to keeping families together. So you brought this group of people together. Were the children excited?
Yes, they were very excited. Two of the girls in the group, their father had been up for deportation a couple years back, and we took his case all the way to Washington D.C. and managed to stop his deportation. However, he's on a temporary permit, so they were expecting something would help their father, and then it just.
But as I understand it, you guys didn't even get to hear the whole thing.
We weren't even there for the opening ceremony. We showed up. We went through security. We went through the security checkpoints. The girls, they have their purses, and you had to open your bags and show, inside your purse, everything. The children were wearing the green shirts. Green shirts are the member shirts. Green representing growth and change. The adults wear the yellow shirts, intellect and wisdom, guidance. And we had just sat down on the bleachers. We sat down on the bleachers, and every seat there had like a little cardboard sign that said Jeb 2016, and also the little boomsticks, the little balloons that you fill up now that are real popular sporting events. Those said Jeb 2016 as well. So those were on every seat. So we sat there. It's very festive, and we're there we're excited. And I got pulled away for a moment. The media, there's massive amounts of media there. So I got pulled away to ask me some questions. And next thing I know, I see the four adults being escorted by about 25 security officers, security and law enforcement. And they come up to where I'm at, and they're like, "We have to go outside. We got some questions for you." And I'm like, "Sorry." And this was right in the middle of an interview with another news station. And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I have minor children here, including my own children, two of my son and my daughter." And I'm like, "Two of my own children are here. I can't leave." And they're like, "No, we have to go outside. Children are okay. Step outside. We have some questions for you." And I'm like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And it's a frenzy. Nobody's really paying attention to me. And I'm like, "Sir," I'm just asking what's going on. We received some information that Dreamers in Yellow Shirts were going to be doing a protest, interrupting, being disruptive. And I'm like, "Well, the four adults standing here are all over the age of 60. Those are not Dreamers. The shirts themselves say supporters, proud supporters." And I'm like, and we drove 5 hours to be there. We had left home at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's we're not planning on doing anything.
But they threw you out anyway.
Yeah. What I found extremely disturbing after the fact was finding out that there was also law enforcement officers interrogating the children without our consent, without our knowledge, asking them if they were there to protest, why were they there, and the children said, "Oh, we're here to watch the event. We're here to hear about immigration." And they asked them if they were there with the gentleman in the yellow shirts, and the kids said yes. And they're like, "You guys got to go too." And so a couple minutes later, I see the children being escorted by another group of officers, and they said either we left or we would be arrested. So we had no choice but to walk out.
So now, this is because, as I understand it, another group of Dreamers did schedule a protest of some kind, right?
Yes. After the fact, we seen on social media that there was a group, I would say I'd put it probably about 20, 25 people, that they were on the opposite side of the auditorium where we were at, and they had fluorescent yellow shirts, that spelled out a message, and they were there. They disrupted the event, and unfortunately,
But you weren't
we were
there for
without
that. So
intentions of doing anything, and we were the ones that were kicked out.
so you weren't there for that. You didn't see any of that.
No, we did not even see the beginning of the event. We were inside the building probably 15, 20 minutes tops.
So, did the crowd react at all when they were throwing you out?
Yes. It was, we were pulled over, we were pulled out to the side at the bottom of the bleachers, and the section that was designated for the media, they all came out to the side and started recording us from their section. And then there was a group of people, because there's still people arriving. It hadn't even started. They started pulling out cell phones and they started recording. And the officers started telling everybody, for our personal safety, you cannot record us. And people are asking, what's going on? What are you doing? I'm like, it was chaotic. And I looked at the crowd and I said, for my personal safety and the safety of my group, I would appreciate it if you kept recording. And
I don't know that they're allowed to do that. But at any rate, we're going to have to wrap it up. Danny Barajas from Young American Dreamers. But I guess, what did this leave you feeling about Jeb Bush and his candidacy? Anything?
Yes. And unfortunately, this all does fall on him. It's his event. His name's on the flyer. People were there for him. At the end of the day, he's the one in charge of his campaign managers. His campaign managers should have, passed the memo down to security and been like, don't treat people this way, because we weren't even given an opportunity to defend ourselves, say anything. We were just kicked out, threatened with arrest, and, I'm there with children.
Would you like an apology from the campaign?
I would like an apology for the children. I would like an apology made to them. This is, they are the future voters. They are the future. And for them to have come home beyond brokenhearted is not even the word. It would be, it was almost like shattered because, it's a 5-hour drive back with nothing except getting kicked out from a place that you were going excited to. And this is for their families. What I do have to say is I have to say that I'm very, very proud of the kids in the group, that they were scared. They said that they were scared, but they had to remain calm. Their words are that they had to remain calm because they've seen how the cops treat people on the news. And
that's a sad statement, isn't it? And unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. But Danny Barajas, where can people go to find out more about your organization?
People can look us up on Facebook, Young American Dreamers. Our website, YoungAmericanDreamers.com. At the very bottom of the website is the links to all our other social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. YoungAmericanDreamers.com has contact information for everything.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. I'm sorry for your negative experience, but thanks for coming on the program. Danny Barajas, head of the Young American Dreamers organization. Thanks for coming on the show.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much.
You bet. We'll be right back after this. I'm Richard RJ Eskow, and this is The Zero.